What's up, everybody, and welcome to ITG Daily, the show that brings you the hottest in gaming news. I'm Drew Bosley. You can find me on Twitter at ArtisticGamer28, and that's the one and the only. It is Scott Savage. How's that one, Scott? That was pretty new, actually. I like that one.
Hey, yeah, changing it up on me. I don't know if I enjoy the change or that was a good one though.
Either way, everybody can be joining us live over on twitch.tv/theofficialITG or on YouTube at ITG Reviews. But if you can't join us live, hit us up later inside the game.ca podcast services and TV streaming networks around the globe. Scott, before we get started, let's hear a little word from our friends at Main Mission. It's the ultimate Easter egg, a streaming campaign like no other, a mission with the goal to change lives in real life. I challenge you to join me on the Main Mission, a charity stream campaign to raise funds for Covenant House. From March 7th to April 1st, we welcome everyone to join this fundraising mission to benefit youth who are homeless, trafficked, or at risk. The campaign will feature prizes, giveaways, and big surprises. And on April 2nd, we join forces with some of the biggest content creators and gamers to raise maximum funds. Help us change the game. Can we count you in? That's right, a 12-hour stream on April 2nd, starting at noon Eastern. We have a host of incredible streamers and some fantastic prizes to give away. Scott, dude, we got a bunch of games. We're even giving away a copy of Elden Ring. Just saying. I'm just saying. Right? Isn't that an awesome one? Make sure you swing by. You can also support right now by heading to mainmission.ca. Help out Covenant House Toronto, a fantastic cause. Scott, let's get to today's show. New rumblings and leaks are heading to the west with Red Dead Redemption 3. Stop the show.
No way.
Stop the show. Dude, oh man, I can't wait to talk about this one. Oh yeah. Well, we'll get there. BioWare also hired a YouTuber to help with the next Mass Effect. We'll talk about that. And
they're answering the controversy of Mass Effect 3, it seems like.
Well, and Reggie Fils-Aime has a few thoughts about the Metaverse, Scott.
Oh, I do too, but we'll get there.
We will definitely get there. Let's get into it. As Red Dead Redemption 3 look is too good to be true. This comes from Tyler Fisher over at comicbook.com. A new Red Dead Redemption 3 leak is making the rounds, getting fans of the Rockstar game series excited in the process. That's because there's nothing happening right now, Scott, on Red Dead Online. It's got like something here, right? Like, that said, the leak is dubious at best. With Rockstar Games currently working on GTA 6, and with this project having no known release date, is going to be a long time before we see a Red Dead Redemption 3. A fourth installment in the Red Dead series is inevitable, but fans of the West will need to exercise considerable patience while waiting for it. How long that wait will be, no one knows, minus Instant Gaming, a small retailer that claims the game is coming in 2026. Scott.
Oh, okay. Well, several years out there, but that's still not out of the normal window.
Dude, that makes sense. No. Yeah, not really, right? I think that's the biggest thing. There are numerous issues. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm sure they're just up-resing a lot of the assets that are still there for number 2 and maybe just flushing out the map. I hope they don't do what Far Cry did and just reuse the map, although that worked in the case of Far Cry. Oh, they rolled it back like 20,000 years or something.
Dude, Far Cry Primal was incredible. I loved that game. It was so good.
I want Primal too.
Me too. I really was kind of hoping we'd see that. Instead, we got a bunch of spin-off stuff that didn't go that way at all. But there are numerous issues with the listing, though. Let's start with the most obvious, which is that there's no way any retailer, let alone Instant Gaming, knows when Red Dead Redemption 3 is releasing. Rockstar Games probably doesn't even know this internally, but even if the game is in pre-production and it has an internal release window, Rockstar Games wouldn't share it. Scott, I think that's the obvious right there. Nobody knows. We all know. We gotta know, dude, is coming. I just wish they'd kind of show some love for us right now on Red Dead Online. I think that's the biggest issue. We have nothing happening over there, dude. I put it in. I turned it on the other day. I jumped in and went, yeah, it looks great here. See ya. And I left. Like, it was just, I had nothing to do that I hadn't already done in the game, right? That was the biggest thing. So
every time I go to play it, I end up with a pack horse full of creatures, and that's a lot of fun, but I do the same thing over and over again.
Well, man, yeah, that's it, right? I just don't want to do the same thing over and over and over again. And I've done it for so long already.
It's funny because we're talking about Grand Theft Auto. We're going to do just that. Well, okay, so I'm much more open to doing that in Red Dead now at this point.
Well, so here's the thing. You've done that. I have not. So in Red Dead Online, I'm still waiting to get my first round of heists in. And then the whole bar scene and the biker gang and all kinds of things that I haven't done because I never had the crew to roll with, right? That's the biggest thing.
I'm going to come in like the super spy in I Spy and just lead you to victory.
So here's the thing. In Red Dead Online, dude, I just checked the other day. I have 200 hours into that game.
Holy,
I played.
Yeah, that was a big one,
right? Like I think 100 hours alone was, or maybe even more, was a story, right? And then the rest of it was all online, dude. Every night it'd be me, Ben, Nate, Kyle, Joel. Like there'd be a group of us that would just roll in and posse up and head out.
I missed out. I missed out big time.
It was a blast, right? But that's what I missed in the world of GTA Online. And so I'm hoping now to get back in. Now that Kyle twisted my arm and I now own it for the 20th time. But either way, that's what I'm looking to get into. But dude, okay, so they brought over on Red Dead Online these like little mini heists, and that was the biggest disappointment. They call them crimes. I'm like, yeah, it's a little crime, but dude, where's that GTA experience over on Red Dead? And I was thinking a lot of us, including myself, fans of the game, were looking for that transition to happen, right? To carry that game over and keep the longevity of that community alive. Right now, if you're still in that game, hit me up, Artistic Gamer 28. Hit us up at the official ITG on Twitter. Let us know, are you still playing Red Dead Online? And if you are, what are you doing? Because I'd love to come back.
Do you get up to?
Exactly.
Are you creating your own heist at this point? You know, you go and wrestle down a train and then ride off. Because I think that's my favorite thing so far.
Oh man,
the Western possibilities for that game are just so insane. I can't believe they haven't capitalized on it.
That's just it, right? It's really endless at this point, and they left the whole door wide open, and nothing's happening over there. Everybody's just kind of sitting back on the couch or put their feet up and sleeping by the campfire. Man, there's just nothing happening. It's irritating. But what's happening over the world is the new Mass Effect development team hires YouTuber Michael Tucker. This comes from Michael Hardens over at PSU, Scott. Michael Tucker, a popular YouTuber, apparently a popular YouTuber who runs the quote lessons from the screenplay end quote channel, has announced he's been hired by BioWare to work on the new Mass Effect game. Congrats to him, dude. That is cool. While he didn't reveal what position he had been hired for at BioWare for the game, it's likely he's involved in the script writing process given his YouTube channel. Quote, this comes right from his Twitter feed. Been getting questions recently about what I've been up to. So, ... I'm excited to share that I'm working with BioWare on the next installment of Mass Effect. Can't say anything more for now other than I'm thrilled to be working with. He shouts out Parrish and Gamble Mike over on Twitter.
Another Mike, third Mike,
drinking game, and the whole team. So that's the biggest thing too, Scott, is the new Mass Effect game is currently in the prototype phase, right? There's some prototype in the game.
Early.
Yeah, exactly.
No, there's no way they finished writing it out. And I'm super curious though. I don't think this is going to be an Andromeda 2. So then where do you put it in the timeline? You can't exactly have the Reapers come back. Is this a side story? Does it not follow Shepard? There's ideas that I have, but I'm just so curious to find more. The Mass Effect Legendary, I still have that in the backlog, just like everything else. But that's
I deleted that one.
I peruse it, I pass by, and I go, oh man, I need to.
Yeah, no, for sure. Also, take note, Scott, they're not using the Frostbite engine. They're going to Unreal 5.
Oh, that's going to be a beautiful game.
Yes, absolutely stunning, right? So I'm definitely curious. Is this the Mass Effect that pulls me in, Scott?
Oh, if you could get past the first, I almost think you should just ignore the first one. Let me give you a story recap on it and then go into the second one. I think you'll have a better time.
So
it is one of the best RPGs ever made, though.
I know. It is one of those, it'll be on my, I should just refuse to play Mass Effect at this point. I'm done. I'm not doing it anymore. That's it. It's over. I know it's one of the biggest Mass Effect, one of the biggest RPGs that I've missed. That is kind of on my wall of shame, Scott. It is up there. It is high up there. I can't get in the first one. I've tried numerous times.
You have to play Mass Effect like I have to play Uncharted.
Oh, really? Is that how we're gonna play this?
I've missed that note for so well. Yeah, hey, there we go. Secondary idea. I'll come by and pick up the PlayStation.
Yeah, you can pick up my PS4. So,
Oh yeah, okay, that's not so bad.
dude, let's get into Reggie. As Reggie Fils-Aime skeptical about Meta's Metaverse. Former Nintendo of America head says VR still not ready for prime time. Nope. This explains his departure from GameStop board. Interesting times. This comes from Brendan Sinclair at gamesindustry.biz. Reggie Fils-Aime doesn't see a lot of promise in the version of the metaverse being pursued by Meta, formerly Facebook. Dude, it's gonna be Facebook. I don't care that you want to call it Meta. Don't care. It's Facebook. The former Nintendo of America president explained his reservations in a South by Southwest keynote this weekend, as recorded by Bloomberg. Part of his skepticism had to do with the company's track record, both with physical products like Portal and with innovation in general. Quote, "You have to admit that Facebook itself is not an innovative company," end quote. Fils-Aime said, quote, yeah, that's harsh words right to start with. They have either acquired really interesting things like Oculus, like Instagram, or they've been a fast follower of other people's ideas. That's Facebook. Inherently, they are not an innovative company other than the very original social platform that created many years ago.
Wasn't there a bunch of controversy about that too? I never watched the movies.
Yeah, okay, so what happened was, for those who don't know, it was this Mark Zuckerberg actually was working with the team over on MySpace, is what it was called at the time. And there was MySpace, and then Zuckerberg took off and created Facebook with all of like that tech that was involved with MySpace and flipped it into his own company.
Well, you know, there's nothing wrong with taking a loaf of bread and slicing it.
Well, that's exactly what he did. Quote, Scott, we have more. "I believe that in order to innovate, you really need to be thinking about the consumer first. I don't think they do," end quote. Fils-Aime said, quote, "I think they think about advertising revenue first because that's 90% of their revenue," end quote. Dude, shots are fired here. And I'm just, wow. So, you know, that's where Reggie stands. He doesn't like Facebook.
When I was plugging in the Oculus many years ago, unfortunately, we're going to get there. I say that every day. But I was worried that I'm going to plug it in and it makes you log into Facebook sometimes. Dude. I was worried that was going to come up with an unskippable ad. That'll be the day I sell my Oculus.
So at one point, right, they made you, when you turn on your Oculus, you had to use your Facebook login. They've since then taken that off. You don't have to do that anymore. You can just log in. Yeah, because that was the thing.
I don't have to be Bart Simpson anymore.
Nope, absolutely not. But we have more from Reggie because he's not done yet. That's why I'm much more of a believer in AR. Fils-Aime said, "There's lots of examples of successful AR today. Pokemon Go is AR. Nintendo 3DS had AR capabilities. I think the idea of wearing a light set of visuals, glasses, and using that at different points of your day to interact with digital experiences, I believe in the end is going to be much more compelling. And I say this as a person who has tried just about every VR device and just about every VR experience. I don't think that is ready for prime time yet. Doesn't mean it's not going to be there or going to get there, but I don't believe it's going to be an experience you're going to be doing with 100% of your time or even 100% of your entertainment time." Scott, dude,
that's true.
Well, that's just
you need an iron stomach for that one.
Oh man, how often do we get into the world of VR and get motion sickness? Right? Like, man, how many games I played in VR and went, okay, taking a break. Steve and Corey just reviewed Gravitational the other day on the show, and boy, Steve said he was like down and out for the afternoon after playing that game in the morning. Then he couldn't get back on his feet because they just put him in that spin of motion sickness, right?
I'm so worried. That's why I haven't put my VR back on in a couple of years. I think fair because of visual issues, degeneration. I'm worried that it'll just cause some sort of physical reaction in me. I'm so afraid of that. But I can't believe Reggie has played that much and still doesn't believe in it, but paradoxically believes in AR. I understand what he's saying because I think the potential is much higher, unless you're running around with a Quest, in which case that blends both worlds. But it's just AR, other than Pokemon Go, that is a very good example. So
Yes.
maybe I have to adjust what I believe in for AR, but
Sure.
it's been so underdeveloped in terms of, well, where's the, what was it, Microsoft Smart
Oh,
Glasses?
the HoloLens.
HoloLens. Yeah, the name is
Dude,
past me because that was a decade ago.
it disappeared. Like I really kind of thought. Then they said that HoloLens was more of a business focus and not kind of game centric, and which is like, well, that's a missed opportunity. You guys displayed it and showcased it with a Minecraft, a kind of tech piece, right? Like a tech demo. That looks so cool because you look through this thing, and all of a sudden the Minecraft shoots out of the coffee table, and like, whoa, you can see them. They're dropping like TNT in there and it's blowing up stuff. You see further down. It looked really, really cool. VR, dude,
Hey, that
is
could
cool.
have made. That could have made. Well, what is that? The name of that game? The VR, or no, sorry, the battle royale that Ubisoft put together.
Hyperscape.
Hyperscape, that's the one. That could have added to the staying
Oh,
power because they had a lot of Twitch inclusion where you
man.
could, tweak what's going on. You could vote on different stuff happening in the world. But
Yeah.
if you had, if you're doing that but from above and you're dropping stuff, Battlefield, if you were the Battlefield commander or what
Right.
we've seen in Hell Let Loose and you're coordinating things on a board, oh man, that could be really cool.
I think AR has potential. VR, I think, is just something of its own. And there's a bit of a following behind VR. I think VR is not for everybody. I don't think everybody can play VR. It's just not, not everybody can stomach that until they can figure out that technology, Scott. It's not going to break through into the prime time of gaming. There's still something to be said about sitting down on my couch with a big TV and just going to town for hours on whatever I'm playing at the time, whether that's Assassin's Creed or I'm playing Supercross 5 right now for review. Like, just, man, it's a comfort thing, right? I don't want to have to worry about getting out the controllers, put on this headset, and then doing whatever I got to play in there. And then I lose the connection of everybody around me. I'm not able to talk to my wife, my kids, all that kind of stuff, right? When it's VR experience gaming, you're a lot more secluded than just sitting on your couch, hanging out with your friends and that kind of stuff. It's a little bit different, but it's still, man, I'm telling you, there's nothing like a VR experience though, Scott, right? Like we both been there. Man, some cool stuff.
Oh, yeah. And well, there's something I always go back to ping pong because I was looking at you and you're just as tall. You're just a little bit taller, and I'm looking at the same angle. And that was when I realized, like, hold on, wait a minute. We're going somewhere with VR here. This is great. Yeah.
No, it is very cool. Scott, what's not cool, I think, is former Division studio head leaves Ubisoft for good. Let's go with some Ted over at PC Gamer. David Polfeld, I think we'll go with that, had originally left with the intent of returning to Ubisoft in another role. David had previously stepped down from his role as studio manager at Ubisoft Massive based in Sweden, with the intent of returning to Ubisoft in a strategic role following a sabbatical. However, David instead seems to have changed plans and left the company entirely, according to a recent interview with Nathan Brown for his Hit Point newsletter. Ubisoft Massive, aka Massive Entertainment, is the studio behind The Division and The Division 2, as well as Ubisoft's upcoming Star Wars and Avatar game. Massive has largely avoided the sexual harassment and workplace toxicity allegations levied against high-level Ubisoft employees, and David's departure seems completely unrelated to that controversy.
Okay, well, I'm glad to hear that.
Me too.
I'm so tired of that being in the news. And
yeah, exactly. Oh my goodness, absolutely. David had previously stated that he, quote, felt an overwhelming sense of completion, end quote, as though he, quote, had achieved everything, end quote, he once dreamed of regarding the growth and accomplishments of Massive. So maybe it's just time to move on, Scott.
Okay. Yeah, that makes me feel a lot more comfortable because
Me too.
Well, you don't see the term sabbatical used in a positive way. A lot of the times that's like a jail sentence for, you can come back to the company after a sabbatical. But it seems like in that moment of peace, he seemed to have come to a realization, and there's nothing wrong with that. Well, I think that's the right way you want to end a career.
I think so.
With a company is like, hey, I've done it all. Time to retire or whatever it is.
Time to move on to something new. Start my own project or do something else, right? If you feel like you've hit the top peak at your company and you got nowhere else to go, then what do? You get bored, right? So if he has the ability to take off and do something else, man, charge on. That's awesome. And what's charging on is For Honor is finally getting crossplay. Scott, it's been forever. This game's been around.
When did For Honor come out? I want to say 2016. I have to look at this now.
All right, you look it up and I'll continue on with the article. This is from Ryan Gillian over at Polygon. Almost 5 years and 1 month after For Honor's launch. How's that, Scott?
Oh, there we go. Yeah, 2017.
The game is getting crossplay on March 17th. Ubisoft announced on Thursday the new crossplay initiative will launch in 2 phases, with the first coming at the start of the game's Year 6 plans. Phase 2 is in active development, and Ubisoft didn't clarify an exact timeline for its release. The first phase of crossplay combines the matchmaking pools for all PC, PlayStation, and Xbox players. Dude, ooh. I don't know about the combination of PC and console.
Well, hey, now there's no, you're not shooting anything at anybody.
That's true.
That's the main problem.
That's true. This should make for matchmaking to go significantly faster, although Ubisoft warned players will need to play a few games to reestablish their skill rating. Voice chat will also be disabled for all crossplay matches, although Ubisoft has a plan to reintroduce that at a later date. So that is coming. Okay.
Good, because I want to talk trash to the PlayStation guys on my Xbox. You know? Feed that fire in the only venue I will.
Oh man, I tell you. While Phase 1 should make for a healthier For Honor community, Phase 2 likely encompasses the features players are most eager to try. Crossplay groups with friends. Even with crossplay enabled on March 17th, players won't be able to play with their friends on different platforms and will need to wait for Phase 2's completion. Scott, why wouldn't they just wait for Phase 2 to be done? This doesn't make any sense.
Like, well, it's like the only reason I can understand being excited for crossplay, cross-plat is to jump on with my friends.
Exactly. And you can't do that.
I make jokes about the console wars, but I don't really just want to go in and slay PlayStation owners just for the sake of it.
Yeah, no, it's just one of those weird things, man. I thought, well, that's great that they're bringing it, but it's clearly not done. So why wouldn't you wait until it's all done instead of releasing out whatever? Is your player base shrinking? Is that why you need to incorporate PC, Xbox, and PlayStation? Right,
just to keep the lobbies full and the matchmaking.
Exactly. Yeah. Kind of makes me a little concerned what's going on in For Honor. I'm thinking about re-downloading it because it's such a cool game. Scott, we do have a game announcement today, buddy. I want you to get to. You got to read this. You got to check it out. This is super cool. What do you got?
A44 Games and Kepler Interactive present Flintlock: The Siege of Dawn, coming in 2022. Gods and guns collide in an all-new action RPG from the team behind Ashen. All right, this sounds cool already.
Yep.
London, 15th March 2022. I'm not sure what London
No,
means.
they're from London. This is where the article comes from.
Okay.
I pulled this from a press release. This is what I got.
Okay. Well, they have unveiled Flintlock: The Siege of Dawn, and it is arriving later this year on PlayStation 4, 5, and PC. Oh, curiously. Okay, no, wait. I was worried there. Xbox Series XS and Xbox One. It'll be on Steam and Epic Games on the PC. And available day one on Xbox Game Pass. Hey, I like that.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool, buddy. I was like, wow, this game looks really cool. Just a little cinematic CG trailer. It's not really too much to go off of, but if you enjoyed Ashen, it's kind of one you kind of keep on your radar. I know we will be for sure. Scott, we also have a couple releases for today. What do we have?
We have Paradise Killer on PlayStation 4, 5, Xbox One, X, and S. And we have Tunic on Xbox One, XS, and PC. I'm very curious about that game.
Yeah, I know you're looking forward to that one, right? Do we know if that one's coming to Game Pass or is it just coming to the Xbox? Is it already on PlayStation? It's not already on PlayStation, is it?
No. I think this was Xbox kind of version of Zelda. That's what people are saying online, at least.
That is going to be the show for today, everybody. Hopefully you enjoyed this show. We did. Dude, we had lots to talk about today. Always exciting. Dude, I love talking about video games.
Oh, yeah. Now, it makes the weekend a little bit weird when we're not talking about video games.
Yeah, it certainly does, doesn't it?
I come down and I talk to my camera alone.
I'm just sitting in front of the camera by myself. Kind of hope for the best. Dude, Red Dead 3 kind of, oh man, when will we see that? Not for a while yet, but we'll see if speculations come true. We'll be keeping a close eye on that one, of course. And don't forget about April 2nd, main mission charity stream from Covenant House Toronto. Will be live at noon Eastern on April 2nd, but you can join right now, mainmission.ca. Scott, that's going to wrap up today's show. This has been ITG Daily, the show that brings you the hottest in gaming news. You can join us live over on twitch.tv/theofficial ITG, as well as YouTube at ITG Reviews. But if you can't join us live, hit us up later. InsideTheGame.ca, podcast services and TV streaming networks around the globe. Do us all a favor, go over to our Twitter at the official ITG and hit that follow button. We could use your support. And of course, reach out and comment. Scott, this is going to wrap up today's show. I'm Drew, that's Scott. We'll see you tomorrow inside the game.